Hello out there. My name is Paul Oluleye. I just want to use this opportunity to share one or two things with us, and probably someone out there will find something useful from this. Uh, for about 2 months or more now, several nations of the world have been in lockdown. In other words, countries are asking their citizens to stay indoors, stay away from the public. Institutions, schools, establishment, companies, have been closed uh, in order to curtail the pandemic. Well, that's not the news. Uh, but the news or the big deal about all of this is a chunk of our life slips away from us, without so many of us noticing this. The cycle for almost everyone today is to wake up, sleep, eat, fiddle with your devices, whether that's a TV, a smartphone, or your computer, or your tablet, and all of that. And when you're tired, you eat something more, you sleep more, you communicate with people in the house, if you have any with you, and so on and so forth. And that has been the cycle, for the past few months. But the question we need to ask ourselves is, when all this is over, what kind of a person would I have become? In other words, when all this is over, will I be able to thank God for the opportunities that I have, been able to do things that the busyness of my past life have prevented me from doing? Several of us, we have dreams. I mean, we have wishes, we have desires, we have things we would love to do. But because we've been busy, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that, have prevented us even from doing such things. So the question is, when all this is over, with all of this time that we have in our hands, will you be able to look back and thank God for these opportunities? And here's my challenge. I want to quickly read from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." And in verse 11, it went on to say, "He has made everything that is good in its time." God has made all things beautiful, everything beautiful in its time. But you may want to ask me, so what's the beauty in this time and season that we are in? When there is all around us negativity of people dying, of people not recovering, of even looting, robberies, and all kinds of things that you may think of, or even people being laid off, from war, people not being able to feed, and all of that. What is the beauty in all of that? Well, the Bible tells me that there's a time for everything. And in all of these things, so whatever time we might be experiencing now, God still has the ability, God still has the sovereignty, to bring something beautiful out of it. But it takes you and I that effort to realize or to fish out the beauty that God has in the season. And so I want to call us, I want to bring to attention this beautiful thing that God has for you in this season. And, one vocabulary that is very, very common and cuts across boundaries of nations or continents is the word lockdown. But be that as it may, it is impossible for any government of this world to lock down your mind. The mind is the creative, chamber that God has placed in our lives. It's the well, of God's grace and wisdom to bring out something that is productive, something that brings out, that wealth that you cannot fathom. So what am I saying in essence? Because your mind is not locked down, there is something you need to do at this time and season of life. You need to dream. Dream. And I have broken that word, dream, into five, you know, processes or five steps, as you may want to put that. Five steps or five processes or five principles that we need to follow even as we engage and exercise our minds, at this time of the lockdown. So, dream, and I am using the word dream as an acronym spelled DREAM. And so, these five things that we're going to look at, are embedded in the word dream. So, the first thing that we need to do, of course, is to dare to dream. D stands for dare to dream. Uh, God has placed in our hearts, or God has placed in our being, that place, that creative chamber, with which we can dream, with which we can envision, with which we can find solutions even to the problem of our world. And that is in our capability or ability to dream and to think of, good and beautiful things. Uh, you can't fathom, what your mind can generate until you sit down and dream. And what time is the best time to, really sit down and dream? If not a time like this that you have nothing so much preoccupying your mind, because all of those things that we have used as our excuses, all of the appointments, all of the trips, all of the these and the that's the deadlines that we want to meet, all of them have been put on hold. And so it's a time for you to sit and dream. Number two, R. And R stands for release your dream to God. Well, I don't really need to tell you, or probably I need to tell you, that unless you release your dream to God, your dream might not come to fruition. Because God is the source of everything. Uh, he is our creator. He is the one who made us. And even He has control of everything in His hand. So if you want to make good success even of your dream, then you need to release that dream to God. The third thing is from the letter E. Express your dream. The only way to nurture is to give expression to it. In other words, don't be like that guy who is all by himself in the darkness, or probably there's somebody with him, but it's blackout everywhere. And he keeps winking at this beautiful girl. Well, guess it's as good as mine. She can't see because it's all dark. So if your dream is kept within you and is not expressed, then it might not have, the body to give it life. Remember Joseph, each time he dreamt, he articulated his dream and he expressed his dream. Number four, assign purpose to your dream. Someone said, nothing is done without purpose. In other words, if you are going out without a purpose, then you will be just like that fighter, like Paul describes, boxing into the air. And no good boxer wins any competition by fighting in the air. Well, at least for now, we don't have virtual boxers. And so no one wins a competition by just boxing into the air. So you need to assign purpose to your dream. And what does the purpose do again? The purpose, you know, gives the fuel that fans your dream to fruition. Purpose gives it, that fuel, gives it that power, gives it that boost to bring it into fruition. But if there's no purpose attached to it, guess what happens? It dies off, it falls off because it has nothing that is living on. And lastly, uh, M. M is to make each day count for your dream. 1,000 days journey starts but with one day. So if you have that dream, make sure that as you close up each day, as you are about going to bed every day, ask yourself, what have I done towards accomplishing my goal? What steps, no matter how little, no matter how tiny that step is, it's important that we take a step each day or we do something each day towards our dream. As I wrap this up, I, you know, remember the words of this famous German poet named Friedrich Schiller. He said, "He who neglects the present moment throws away all he has. He who neglects the present moment throws away all he has." This is the moment we have when we are not so much answering to that boss or to that deadline and to all of these other things that, cramp and choke us up. So, what are you doing with the moment? Are you throwing it away? Or you are dreaming, daring to dream, releasing it to God, giving it expression, assigning purpose to it, and making each day count for it? Also, in one of the excerpts, in one excerpt of my poems titled "Check Your Time," I'll read the last stanza of the poem to you. It says, "Tick and tock, oh says the clock. In case you don't know, time waits for no man." I'll read that again. "Tick and tock, oh says the clock. In case you don't know, time waits for no man." Hopefully, very soon, we're looking forward to a time when everything will return to normalcy. And again, I ask, would you be able to look back and thank God for these opportunities that are slipping by every day? Before I leave you, I'll pray with you if you don't mind. Let's pray together. Precious Father, I just thank you for this time of sharing with my friend out there. And I do hope sincerely that someone will benefit even from this that we have shared. And if they are making that decision this moment to rise up and to engage their dreams that, of course, are not locked down, and will dream and do something that counts for eternity, will you, oh God, kindly empower them by your Spirit so that we all can look back, even when all of this is over, and be grateful for that which we have been able to achieve. Thank you, precious Father. In Jesus' precious name, I pray. Amen. Thank you once again for your audience. And till I come your way another time, stay safe. Cheers.